Yo, what's going on? How we doing? Who we got in here today? How we doing, guys? PC Shed, what's good? Glyn, Limbu, how you doing? Immortal Orange, Monty. Got a few regulars in here today. Atai, how you doing? Excellence. Crypto 6, what's good, man? System Hack, what's happening? Sack Trades, #1, comes in, always. Fair play to you, bro, fair play. What's good? Haltsy, Gold-Blooded, what's happening? Have I slept? Nah, I haven't slept, man. I'm good, man. Timo, how you doing? I'm good. Got a few new people in here today. What's good, guys? How you doing, Adrian? 200 megabytes internet. That's all good. Ben, trading with indicators like the stochastics and the RSI. Yeah, they are laggard indicators. As I've always said, if I'm going to look at stochastics and RSIs, if I was to have a checklist of 100 confluences that would need to come into play, stochastics and RSIs will probably be 98 and 99. It'd be the last thing that I consider. It'll just be like the cherry on the cake. Just, yeah, that'll do. If that happens, then fine. But I wouldn't base any decisions off them so holistically like that. You know, there is so many more things that need to happen. First things first, candlesticks, price and zones, cycles, intention, stop hunts. There are so many things that you'd need before you even consider looking at stochastics. On the higher time frames, you know, back in the day when stochastics were introduced, yeah, it was a valid thing to discuss because that's all they had, you know. So, but that's how it is, man. So how is everybody this afternoon? Is everyone all good? Yeah, cool. Today's session, guys, right, we're going to be talking about how to understand retraces and how you can capitalize on them. All right. So I've been waiting for this move to happen, and it's quite evident what we were expecting at some point. But I'm going to dive into it very shortly. Firstly, for anybody new to the channel and for all my pattern watchers, welcome to the Traders Reality channel. All right. My name is Tino. Let's have a conversation, guys. Let's roll with it. So, is the music all good? You know, it's not overpowering my voice, is it? Is sound check all good? Are we all live? Yeah, I'm going to do the full screen. Don't worry. Full screen's bit. So Thursday for the mid. Exactly. Fuzzfinger, you listened to it, yeah? You heard me say it. Yeah, it looks like Thursday is the midweek reversal. It looks like Thursday is the day for cryptocurrency to see a reversal, which is crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Can hardly hear the music, voice coming through. Great. Oh, that's awesome. If you can't hear the music, that's fine. All right, then. Cool. So let's have a conversation, guys, on what's been going on. Okay. I'm going to adjust my mic. Let's get this party started. So Bitcoin right now. First things first, what we like to do is we like to understand where are we coming from. All right. So over the past 2 days, which you can see in the Asian session, okay, they've not really done anything with price. They tried to give us a little bit of insight to the upside yesterday, but New York initiated the reversal. Okay. Let me get rid of this. Now, today's video is really going to help you understand how to see a potential retrace and how it may develop into one. All right. And it's all on the focus of candlesticks. Okay. Now, looking on the 1 hour time frame, we can clearly see that we have had an upward cycle. Okay. Now, we were waiting for a rise level 3 and we were waiting to see if we would get another move to the upside. And it looks like that we won't be. So now it looks like the market makers are going to start trying to take liquidity down further. However, if they do move price down and it hits the 200 EMA, we would naturally see what we understand to be a W formation in this area. That's only if they hold this area. So if this is going to come down, we're going to expect this behavior in this area. Okay. Price may come up, come back down, and then try and make the tracks to the upside again. All right. That's only if price does hold this area. All right. But we need to try and understand what's going on. So let's go back to our cycle. This, of course, is from last night, what we were talking about with moving averages. Let me get rid of all of that so it's clear on the chart. How nasty is that, man? Okay, then. Right. So, we have got ourselves a cycle, okay? We've had price rising so far from this W formation down here. All right, there's the W formation. Price rises up. It gives us a level 1. Gives us a level 2, and now we are in a level 3. Now, from last night's stream, we were talking that we are in level 3. Okay, we are expecting a level 3 rise, but it looks like that they stopped the rise at this high right here and formed the M formation. So if we move this up here, you can see the M pattern right there. Now, what were the factors that would contribute towards price coming back down, and what were the chances of it happening? Well, first look. The first high up here, you can see the first leg of the M formation, okay, is higher than the second leg, which is right here. We had no notable volume in this zone. So they were trapping traders, making them believe price was going to go higher. All right. Now, on that basis, all right, what's going on? Is everything all right? Is everything okay? Is this... Are we having problems? Yeah, those boxes do make it hard to see. Give me a second. Let me flip the chart. Whoa, too much. Okay, then, cool. Have a look at this. This chart should put things into perspective for you. All right, is that clear? It's all good, yeah? Cool. All right, then, cool. This is MT4. All right, if you want to get this sort of platform, MT4, all your links that you need are in the description to the video. So, this move to the upside right here, okay, it did take out the previous high right there, okay, but it came back in again. Now, it's going to be different on TradingView and on MT4, different brokers, different price feeds, okay? But what we understand is the breakdown of price, because we have had a cyclical move to the upside, okay, and we've had a full level 3 setup. All right. Now, granted, the level 3, sometimes it can go straight into a cyclical move, or it can just continue further up, form a peak formation at a higher point. In this instance, it formed it now. Okay. So this move right here was, of course, the cyclical move to the upside. They came back down, trapped the retail trader on the buying the dip theory, and then they moved price all the way up again, notable volume at the highs. Then they allowed the retail trader to get a bit excited, and then they reversed it, started to drop down, and then Asia started to set up the intention. It was Asia's intention that initiated the UK's move to the downside. All right. Now you can see how during this time, all right, you've got the 5 and the 13 EMA literally crossing over each other. And we're always going to wait for one thing whenever a moving average crosses against another one. Wait for the retrace. Okay, you can see it bright as day right here. Price comes down, it comes back up, tests it, and then it's now moving to the downside. All right. Now, what's important about retraces is this. They have to develop that move. Okay. They have to prepare it, because what they're doing is they're committing retail traders to put money here. Now, if the market maker is building his shorts, he's getting ready to go short now. So he marks up his shorts at the highest possible point, takes a bit of profit on those shorts, adds a few longs, adds a bit of liquidity, allows the retail trader to take advantage of the move to the upside, and then he starts to offload his shorts. Look at the 15-minute time frame itself. Look at how they're building those shorts. Look at the stopping volume candles at the highs. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah? 6 stopping volume candles, and then price breaks down. Asia comes in. Price closes below the 50 EMA. Big, strong move to the downside. Retrace, because at this point in Asia, the market maker induced the retail trader to go short, and then he's spiking the lows down here. He moves price all the way back up because the retail trader has got stops and liquidation points in this area. Now, he uses their stops and liquidations to realize a profit on the longs that he built when price came to the downside. That's how he does it. Okay? Now that price has hit back to the 50 EMA, because remember what we just said, when price moves away from the 50 EMA, wait for the retrace back to the 50 to determine if it's going to be a continuation to the downside. Look what's happened. Price has gone down. The 50 has crossed over the 200 EMA. Now everybody's going short. Market maker has allowed the retail trader to believe the short is coming into play. What does he do again? Retraces back to the 50, traps the retail trader, takes out his liquidation points from the previous shorts, and then starts the whole process again. Okay? Now, if we look on TradingView itself, we can see that we are now approaching the previous pool of liquidity, which is down here. Now, something important is happening. This hasn't become a vector candle in red. So volume has started to rise on the way down, but it hasn't given me a clear indication that they do want to push price down lower. They may be just bringing it down to recover this previous pool of liquidity, okay? And then they're going to base out in this zone. Granted, price may actually continue further down, but the lack of conviction on this candle here is telling me that at some point they may change direction again, all right? That's what we need to be aware of. Now, with the 5 and the 13 EMA, how many of you were watching that video last night on the stream? How many of you were looking at the... were watching last night's video on the 5 and 13 EMA? Can you please let me know so I know who I'm talking to? Yep, okay, okay. All right, then. Cool. Cool. Wonderful. All right, then. So, we're seeing the 5 and the 13 EMA. This is what I'm trying to get to you about the 5 and the 13 EMA. When the 5 and the 13 EMA cross below the 50, it's really the 13 EMA that you want to pay attention to. When the 13 EMA crosses over the 50 EMA, things are starting to change. Now, the wider that the 13 EMA is away from the 50, the more momentum price is favoring to that desired direction. So it's pointing downwards. Price is now moving downwards. The wider that the 13 EMA gets from the 50, the longer the trend is going to be. However, we've got to be careful as well. All right? Because at a moment's notice, they could reverse it like they did with this area right here. Earlier on, we were waiting to see if that was going to happen, and it didn't. Okay? Now, we can't be static with the strategy. We can't assume just because we saw it here doesn't mean we're going to see it here. We may see this sort of behavior, but probably a little bit further down. All right? So you always have to have variation on the theme. Have flexibility with it. Give it a chance to work. Okay? Now, let me just get rid of this here so it clears up the chart. The cyclical pattern to the downside now is intact. Okay? However, until it breaks this zone clearly, they may just stabilize. We've had the first retrace back to the 50 EMA. Now we're expecting a move to the downside. Excuse me. All right. Flipping over to Ethereum. Ethereum is sticking to the plan. All right. She's now broken down. Rise, retrace, continuation down. All right. The next pool of liquidity for Ethereum is at this 3,000 zone. If I flip over to MT4 and have a look at Ethereum on there, you can see now that she's come all the way down. We've got a nice pool of liquidity down here on Ethereum. Right there. This big zone. Okay. If it comes back down to this point, ladies and gentlemen, then it does look like that we will be seeing the 200 EMA on the bigger time frame. Here we go. 1 hour time frame, 200 EMA, which sits in this big pool of liquidity right here, which is the 3,000 zone yet again. We do have the range daily low in sight, which sits at 3,043. Okay. So what we really want to see is we want to see price breaking down to solidify the range daily low, breaking down this previous point of support, and then we'll have enough information to grant that we are in a cyclical move to the downside. Okay. Now, saying that, going back to Bitcoin, it's Thursday today, right? Friday may bring just pretty boring price action. They may be setting this move up for the weekend in anticipation potentially to go back up again. If this cyclical move to the downside continues, okay, price will be dropping, form a base at the 200 EMA, retrace back up to the 50 EMA, because at this point, the price, the moving averages, will come down here. The 13 and the 5 will be all the way down here with price, but the 50 will be sat right there. If it comes back up to test the 50, we will then have ourselves a level 1 retrace. So level 1 will retrace and start from there. If it continues to go down, it will need to take out the next low. That will be a level 2 move to the downside. So the absolute zone that we can expect price to get to from now up until the weekend, if they do drop it so aggressively, will be this area here, which is the 41,200 zone. That is the next pool of liquidity that is available for the market makers to take. All right. Now they're working this area right here. All right. So now we're waiting to see if they'll come back down to this point later on. So proceed with caution, guys. Don't just gladly open up shorts just yet. There is a move happening to the downside. Wait for the 50 EMA to be retraced and test from that point. Because look, if you waited earlier on today on a smaller time frame, you'll be able to see this. Right. So there is your 50 EMA on the 5-minute time frame, which is the 200 EMA, the 800 EMA on the 5-minute. Okay. Price had come up towards it. And if you look closely, you can see stopping volume right there. So the big green candle was to take out all the stops. Was it the point that they move higher from that point? Well, we needed to wait and see for the retrace back to the 50. And they did just that. They spiked the high and then they pulled it straight back down. Now price is starting to make some movement to the downside. Are we going to be tapping that pool of liquidity? Let's see. Here we go. We are full-fledged into that pool right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's tapping it right now. Let's see if they do anything. New York starts in exactly half an hour's time. Well, 34 minutes time. All right. New York. Are UK setting up New York for a reversal? That's the question. Are they setting up longs for New York to step in and initiate a move back to the upside? All right. Let's see how the UK... Look at that. Look at that. There's your liquidity. Look what happens when they tap liquidity, guys. It moves aggressively to the downside. Look at that, man. Red vector candle. Red vector candle coming in. They're breaking this down. Breaking this move down. They're taking advantage of that pool of liquidity to the left side of the chart. Oh, my days. Wonderful behavior. Here we go. Vector candle on the bigger time frame, not just yet, but they've recovered the pool of liquidity right here. 200 EMA in sight. That will be the full take on that pool of liquidity where it's likely to have a bit of a retrace because of the previous area of support. All right. It looks like Europe are actually setting this up for a reversal. It does look like it. It's just too much of a fast move to the downside. How do you identify pina colada? How do we identify stopping volume candle? A brief explanation. A stopping volume candle is one of these. All right, let me just bring it up for you right now. So look on Ethereum 15-minute time frame. You will see here it is. That's a stopping volume candle. Yeah, that's a stopping volume candle. And that is it for the time being. And that's a stopping volume candle right there. Now, how do you identify them? Look at these candlesticks. Green candle, interest, closing at the highs, full body of the candlestick. Red candlestick, closing at the lows. Not so much fully, okay, but it's got a long body to it. Stopping volume candles have small bodies to them, all right? But inside that candle, right, there was a battle between the retail trader and the market maker. Market maker wanted to just get enough liquidity trapped in one area, but he didn't want it to go, he didn't want it to continue further, because if he allows that liquidity to be released, the retail trader who's been going long is going to realize big profits when it rises up here, and the market maker's not in the business for charity. He's about trapping the liquidity in one direction so that he can set up his orders in the opposite direction, using the liquidity from the retail trader who set his stops and his liquidation points. Okay? That's a stopping volume candle. Small body, wicks either side. Okay? There's always going to be a variation of it. But a stopping volume candle doesn't mean straight away it's going to turn as stopping volume. Look how long this stopping volume candle took to trigger. Price came back up. Came down again, one more time, and then they decided to release it. Okay? Ethereum now is working that pool of liquidity, guys. It's a very important point in Ethereum right now. If it breaks below this zone right here, okay, it's going to release the liquidity to the downside and hit the 3,000 mark. Very important area right now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's moving. It's moving. Let me get trading view up. It's moving. Oh, wow. There you go. Bitcoin moving sharp. Recovery of the vector candles. Happy days. I love a good recovery on the chart. Perfect recovery right there. But how long is this recovery going to go for? Okay. Is it just going to come down to the 200? Will New York follow suit? Are they going to actually dump this right now and come down to the next pool of liquidity? We've got to be careful, man. If you're in shorts, happy days. Okay, but be careful because we've got New York stepping in. Are the UK just filling up their positions, getting their longs filled at lower points and taking profits on their shorts from the previous move? Because the next pool of liquidity after this zone has been completely taken is this zone right here. Are they going to bring price down so far? I mean, let's look at everything across the board right now. What is performing well? Well, you've got GRT, Tron. They seem to be holding up well. But why? Look at everything else. Getting absolutely taken over, man. It's just, look at that. It's red across the board. Cake's gone down to $18. BNB down to $379. We're just waiting to see if this zone gets broken. 44,000 mark near the 200 EMA. Ethereum with 3,000. It's now at 3,081. If it breaks 3,000, that's going to be a run for profit to the downside, guys. So we're going to hope that New York in the next half an hour actually shows a reversal. That's what we're waiting for, guys. What's going on? Let me have a look at your comments. Not in shorts, but have a war chest ready for 42k going long. A war chest. Wonderful. PC Shed been in short since 3. Happy days. I can imagine where you actually entered PC Shed. It's very likely that you entered in this area here, or you were building your shorts all the way up here, because that would be consistent with 3. There you go. Bang on the nose. 3 a.m. So looking at the trade carefully. What reasons did you have to go in on that trade? So price drifts slowly up towards the 50 EMA, taking out the previous pool of liquidity, sets up the zone right here, and then price starts to break down. Asian session initiates that. So happy days to the downside. Wonderful. Look at that. Beautiful shorts. Wonderful, wonderful zone. Look at that, man. Complete recovery. Now we've got a vector. Okay. So this is where they may stabilize price. Look at how aggressively they come back up at the formation of a red vector candle. Okay. We may still see further downside behavior, but look at how quick they come back up. So many people now are going short. Market maker wants to catch those guys with their liquidation points to the upside. All right. So we could see a little quick bit of a retrace back up, which then may initiate New York. Okay. And then we may even go down further because we actually haven't hit anything of any point of interest other than the vector candles to the left side of the chart. All right. So we just have to play the waiting game, guys. The waiting game is where we are right now. You got that short? How many of you are short right now? Just out of interest. This will be interesting. You closed your short, okay. Okay. Fair enough. Long on Dogecoin, been short for 3 days, okay. Never short. Big shorty. Short and long scalp is out now. Take profits. Wonderful. Okay. Your exchange doesn't have shorts. Ah. Okay then. $200 in a 30-second long. Not a bad day's work. Happy days. No. LeBarms, listen. You can never close a short too soon. You can never close a long too soon. All right? You closed it in profit. No one ever went broke taking a profit. If you can show me someone that went broke taking profits, then the game's completely set up for just failure, full stop. You can't go wrong taking a profit. All right. The whole point is to take a profit. Doesn't matter if you miss more of a move to the downside. You never knew it was going to go in that direction. All right. But as time progresses and the more proficient you are with the strategy, you're going to have more flexibility to hold trades. That's why you should trade light, because then you can try and grab as much of the move as possible, because when it retraces back, it's not going to be a stint in your account. All right. If you're trading with too much money and too much risk is down, then you're going to be setting yourself up for, I need to make quick profits. I can't allow this trade to turn against me. So then that's where you're missing out. Right now, price is just stabilizing at this vector candle. By the time New York opens, okay, that is when things may get a little bit interesting. Okay. Now, is there any news being released? Has any articles come out to grant this move to the downside? Does anybody know? Yeah, look, I'm jumping in between the psychological high and low on all the charts, guys. Psychological low is right here on Ethereum. Okay, psychological low is sitting at the 3057 zone. Okay, that's for Ethereum. On Bitcoin, we have broken the psychological low. Okay, right there, you can see that. Should say it. No, sorry, the psychological high has been broken for Bitcoin, which is why things might actually change, okay? They may change. They may have allowed price to come down into the psychological zones themselves, okay? But overall, this is what we are expecting. We're expecting this behavior to the downside, all right? This is what we want to see. And it's going to be very interesting when this actually plays out. If it does form the W in this zone, that will be happy days for a lot of people. Guys are now buying the dip. Market makers realizing a return. Notice how the biggest amount of orders on the vectors is in this zone right here. They want to try and come down, recover that pool of liquidity. And then if they do seek lower prices, they will come down into this zone right here, which will take us into the 42 zone. Okay, that is going to be the next point of interest in the chart, guys. Just this zone right here. Looking at the Bitcoin liquidity chart itself, Right, where is that? 4 hourly. Here we go. The liquidity chart. There you go. You can see red vector candle on the 4 hour. Now listen, guys. The 50 EMA on the 4 hour time frame hasn't been broken. Okay? When New York opens, we're going to see a new 4 hour candle, which is why things are getting a little bit busy towards the next hour. Okay? So in the next 25 minutes, till the next hour candle, okay, is going to get really busy because we're going into a new 4 hour candle. 27 minutes left for the new formation of a new 4 hour candle. If this is the pullback back to the 50 EMA that we've been waiting for price to take on the higher time frame, then we are going to see a lot of notable volume in this area. This is where it may start to turn, okay? But if it does break down below the 50, then of course we've got this area right here on the chart, which will be the next pool of liquidity. That is just too bright for my liking. I need to change that. There we go. Next pool of liquidity will sit around the 42 zone. Okay, because look, we haven't had a pullback to the 50 on the 4 hourly for a long time. Yeah. On the 6th of August. Sorry, the 5th of August. It's just continuously moved higher. And it's used the 25 weighted moving average as a base of support. That's where we are right now, guys. So now it's just stalling. And that's what we're going to get. We are going to get this. Crypto open 24/7. Please let me understand the idea of USA, UK, Asian open or close. Okay. Yeah, I probably do. I'll just use I won't use the yellow one. Is it bright for you guys? That's the thing. Yeah, Chris, if that is an M, if that is an M formation, okay, we will know from the test of the 50 EMA. Because price would effectively do this. It will come down. It should break the 50 EMA. So let me extend that. Break the 50. When it breaks the 50, it will try and come back up to test the 50. And if it fails doing that, it can drop down. Granted, it can actually even come back up even further, recover the red vector candle, and then drop down. All right? It's still valid because you can actually get yourself a head and shoulders pattern up here. There's the first leg. There's the head. And we're waiting for another right shoulder. That could happen. But right now, you can see clearly, bright as day, that these guys are actually just breaking down price. The range daily low for Bitcoin is in sight, guys. 43,581. What number is it? It's a half number. All right? Always at the halfway points. They like to do this, do these notable moves, okay? And our job is to try and get ready to capitalize on the retraces from those zones, okay? 800 EMA is in sight, all right? Which is the 200 EMA on the 4 hour time frame, all right? Sorry, the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. Okay then, whole and half number, lads. Brightness is fine, that's all good. You can check, yeah, you can change colors as well. Took a 4.2k profit with that short. Well done. People are getting paid. That's nice. Alt season part 2 is upon us. I mean, look, looking at the alts themselves, who's actually doing well? Look at Ravencoin. Ravencoin's getting absolutely hammered. Look at that. Now the 50 has crossed near towards crossing over the 200 EMA. But remember, the 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame is the 13 EMA on the hourly. All right, so just remember, we want clear confirmation that the 13 is going to cross the hourly. Here we are. Has it got there yet? No, it hasn't. There's the 5 EMA right there. Sorry, the 13 EMA, ever so faintly, is right there. It needs to close below, go below the 50 EMA for us to grant that this move is going to go down lower in a cyclical motion. Okay, look at how they've recovered all of those vector candles right there. And they started the release right there. Crazy. But we are at the 50 EMA right now for Ravencoin. So this could actually be a pattern. Rise, retrace, continuation up. Or we may just get a few more liquidity points from the market makers. There's zones that they can actually recover and take profit on. All right. A lot of people right now are thinking of buying the dip. They are considering this, buying the dip. I'd proceed with caution on that basis. I would proceed with utmost caution. Here we go. So now starting to stabilize. All right. You can see how the pattern is coming into play right now. So just reduce that there so it's easy on the eyes. 3,000 mark is in sight. It just looks like they do want to bring it down lower. But remember, guys, at a moment's notice, they can change it. They can change it whenever they want. As long as they've got enough liquidity trapped in the zone, happy days. But look where we are. We are in a level 3 formation. We're at a level 3 point. We've had the 2 cyclical moves to the upside. We are expecting a retrace. And look what's happened. The retrace is starting to happen. Okay? How long the retrace will last for, we won't know. Because look what happened to Bitcoin last time. Bitcoin, when it came from that M formation, came all the way down. It's done a W formation. And look what they did. They just moved price all the way back up. Okay? Something else that you need to consider as well. Where is it? Is that it? No. No, that's not it. That's not it. 15-minute time frame. No, that's it. Okay, cool. This is something else you need to be aware of. Red vector candle on the 4-hour. We've established that. Daily time frame. If this is the pattern of the 4-hour, there you go. We've had the first rise, retrace, price coming up. We are now working a level 2 retrace. Okay, so level 2 on the bigger cycle, all right, is now being worked because we had level 1 here. The end of level 1 was here. The start of level 2 is here. They've made the level 2 rise to the upside. Now we're waiting for a retrace to test the level 2. The lowest it can go to is this zone, the 42,000 point, and then bounce from there to form another cyclical move to the upside. So we still have 2 more cycles to the upside on the higher time frame. All right. So just keep that in mind. Look at what the candlestick is doing. It's recovering the green vector candle right here. All right. By the end of play today, we may even see the range daily low, but it's still stuck in the psychological high and low for the week. So it's still in good. We're in a good place, guys. Doesn't mean Bitcoin is going to completely collapse. Okay. We are just in a good zone right now. Let them do their business because that's what we're waiting for them to do. Okay. Silly question, DeFi. Let me see. No. Right. Would price moving up to the psychological high area and failing mean they favor lower prices? Well, if it moves back... Hold on. If it goes... Silly question. That's not a silly question. Would price moving up to the psychological high area and failing or falling, is that failing or falling? And failing that mean they favor lower prices? Well, yeah, because the psychological high and low are key psychological lines of support and resistance. Because remember, those zones, the psychological high and low for each week right there is where they determine the support points, you know, and the resistant points. Look at that. Watch this. Look at how price broke away from the psychological high, came down, tapped it, moved back up, came down again, tapped it and moved back up. No one else would be setting those as support and resistance points. No one would put that as a support point. But they do. They use that as support because it's all in line with their spread. If they can mark up their shorts at higher prices, considering we are in a cyclical move to the upside, we've had a peak formation on the hour time frame, okay? Well, when they break through it, it does mean that they are finished with that zone. Now, we're waiting to see if the intention is to continue lower, because this red vector candle right here, it's not finishing at its lows, okay? Which tells me that in the next 15 minutes, when the new 4-hour candle forms, she might actually start working a little bit of this wick and we may see another move back up. It may be short-lived and price may still continue lower, but that's what we're testing right here, guys. We're testing to see if this move is going to bring price down towards the 50 EMA on the 4-hour, which sits at the psychological low. Notice how all the points of interest in the chart are sat at the key areas, the key points that the market makers use in the in the markets. So we're just playing the waiting game now. It's a little bit of boring price action, to be honest with you. You know, they're not really going anywhere. They're just recovering previous zones that we've been to. I ideally want to see some busy activity, but I'm seeing Wing Command. I'm seeing blue vector on the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin. They might be stabilizing. Which blue vector are you talking about on Bitcoin? Let's have a look. The blue vector candle on the 15-minute time frame. Where is it? On what platform? Red Gora, can you please quickly explain what red vector, green vector formation is? Is it the same as a stop hunt? Principally, yes, it's like a stop hunt. Look at this here. Stop hunt low, stop hunt rise. Okay, red candle, green candle formation. Now, usually when you see the red candle, green candle formation, it triggers a move to the upside. You can see there that it was short-lived. All right, because it was short-lived, it didn't finish above the 50 EMA, so it didn't show conviction. Plus, the second candlestick straight after was stopping volume, so there was no confirmation of this red candle, green candle formation. Okay, naturally, when you see a green candle, red candle formation, things are starting to change. So, where is there an example of that? Well, there's one there. Green candle, violet candle formation. Look at this one. Red candle, green candle formation. Price did rise up. Okay. But you see, green candle, violet one, it did pull back in the end. It didn't make, it wasn't as aggressive. All right. So where are we? Here we go. 15 minutes left till the next hour. Look at how price is now holding. We've got railroad tracks at the bottom right here. Is it likely to come back up? Most definitely. It's likely to come back up, but it may actually continue back down. So they're just spiking up the liquidations and the stops for the guys who went short. If you didn't go short previously, you would have missed out on the opportunity to go short. What you're waiting for now is a retrace back up to test the 5 or the 13, and then continuation down from that point if that is the case. Okay, sorry, yes, let's have a look at XRP. I forgot about XRP. My bad. Okay, XRP, same story. All right, XRP has actually come down and recovered these previous wick. It's tapping some of the previous pool of liquidity right here, but you can see clear as day that they are actually forming what looks like to be a W formation. Does look like it, but we'll only get confirmation of that if price stabilizes in this zone. Again, we've got a new 4-hour candle coming into play. And just looking at the way they're behaving, the 50 EMA, there's one or two things that they can do with this, guys. As long as the 13 EMA stays above the 50 EMA on XRP, which you can see right here, it's still above it. The 13 has crossed, sorry, the 5 has crossed over the 13 EMA, as you can see closely right there. But I'm not too concerned with that. It's when the 13 actually starts to expand out away from the 5 and goes down towards the 50 EMA. Momentum is still favoring higher prices because it's simply coming back to a moving average. Look at the liquidity pools that they're coming back towards. All right. So we're going to wait and see for the next hour, which is in 10 minutes time, what their intention is, which will be New York Open. And then 30 minutes after, it will be the futures market as well. All right. You're long on XRP. That's fine. That is fine. I mean, whatever it is, whatever position you guys are taking, all right, you have to be aware of if it starts to break down, how much risk are you guys prepared to sit with and see the exposure before it actually goes back in your favor? Yeah, you hear me say it all the time. How much are you prepared to pay to be wrong? All right, keep that in mind. Don't let it get all messed up. Adriana, how you doing? And try to say your name. Oh man, my words are mumbled today, guys. Stopping volume on the one on Bitcoin. Okay, stopping volume. Where's the start? Yes, principally, it does look like it's forming stopping volume, but don't make a decision just because the candle has turned. All right, let's wait and see what happens in the next 10 minutes. If that doesn't turn red, okay, or it does turn blue or green, you know, we need to wait and see. All right, if it stays violet, it's kind of giving me a clue as to them actually not wanting to go too far to the downside unless something triggers a fast move to the downside. the fact that we've got violet candles coming in is telling me that they are slowing down. All right. RSI itself on the bigger time frame. So looking at Bitcoin, it's outside the volatility band right now. I'm expecting the snap back up on the RSI. Looking at the 1 hour time frame itself, you can see clear as day, it's so far outside the volatility band. We are expecting a snapback in the next 8 minutes time. So it's going to be very interesting for us, guys. I'm anticipating that they do bring price back up. So hopefully that happens. Okay. Very interesting how the 50's following that line right now. Here we go. Gus, question. How do confirmation candles work? Okay, so confirmation candles themselves. This is an example of a confirmation candle. Price is coming up. How do we not know that this was just a fake out? So you wait for the next candle to show the dominance. If it does turn into a green vector, happy days, ride that move as much as you can. Okay? This confirmation candle right here, price coming up towards the high, fails to close higher. So by that token, it does give you the impression that they are just spiking the highs to trap the retail traders' liquidity to the upside so they can offload their shorts. If the next candle doesn't continue with that intention and closes lower, you've got a fake move to the upside confirmed. Price comes down again, makes them believe that there's going to be a continuation of it, fails to take over the previous area of resistance, fails to take the previous vector candle and the candle preceding that, and then drops down again. Have a look at this, guys. Every time you see a high, just pay attention to what happens when the vector candle comes in. It tries to make another high and then spikes down lower. Here's another high. Tries to make a high, tries to make a high, tries to do it there, doesn't achieve it, bang, red vector candle comes in. Tries to make a high, tries to make another high, doesn't succeed, spikes lower. Look at how they bring price back up again. This move back up here, this wick that it formed here, was them just getting those last bits of orders on the retail trader that tried to take advantage of price coming up, pulling back again, thinking that it's going to continue higher again. Okay? And then he snaps up, takes liquidity, brings it back down, stabilizes for a little bit, and then tanks down and squashes all that liquidity. All right? He trapped up all the money here, and then he released it down here. All right? Just go through the chart and find those points of interest in the chart because they will happen over and over again. That's what I'm trying to get at to you guys. It's not if they will, it's a matter of when. And it's then understanding the development of that move. So if I move this to the hard right there, and you understood what was going on here, and you were expecting a red vector candle because we are at the highs, you just wait for it to happen. Where's the confirmation? Oh, one more hit to the upside right there. They're trapping the trader, and then it drops. It's the candlesticks, guys. Forget any other indicator out there. It's the intention. What are they trying to do with traders? They're making them believe one thing against the other. You know you're in a cyclical move to the upside. You're in a level 3. So at any point, they could actually drop price. And you had your confirmation right there with the spike to the upside, bringing it back down. Or what we understand to be a small M formation. All right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys? I hope it does. Have a look at dollar yen. Let's just pull up dollar yen for a second. Yep, dollar yen spiking up again. It is pulling up. Don't trust it because it didn't finalize. It couldn't close above that zone. New York's going to come in. This will be consistent with a drop, retrace, continuation to the downside. There's a lot of liquidity for dollar yen to take advantage of, guys. A lot of liquidity. Right down here. And down here. Big daddy. Big pools of liquidity. We've got news announcements very shortly. What news is coming out? Okay, not so great there. Nah, nothing. Nothing there. Not much. Tomorrow. No, 1 o'clock, sorry. Export. Yeah, that is a little bit important. The Michigan Index. Oh, God. Okay, then. This, yeah, I guess, well, it is month on month. Well, it's the year-end one. Okay, 5-year. Not really market movers as such. What have we got here? Yeah, New York Fed Manufacturing Index. That is a big mover as well. And then tomorrow we have retail sales. That's the big one. That's the big daddy. So they may just spike up and down for a little bit in anticipation for those news announcements before anything happens. Let me just pull up gold for a second. Let's see the sentiment of traders. Actually, no, not that. Is that all you've got? What have you done? Okay, that's not working then. I'll just put it on here. Gold stopping volume at the 50 EMA. All right, recovery of the blue vector candle nearly. It's just halfway, near enough 50% of that. So we're just waiting for New York. 2 more minutes until New York, guys. 2 more minutes until New York. Let's get the party started. Let's pull up Ethereum and Bitcoin and let's see how they behave. Pull that there. There's Ethereum for you. And Bitcoin. Let's see what it does. Very interesting. Let's see. All right, then. We've got the pool of liquidity right here that they could be working. So let's see if they actually do something in New York. 1 more minute until New York, guys. Right, if you are new to the channel, okay, and you want to get access to these indicators, they are free of charge. All you need to do is just go into the description of the video. You can either download the indicators on IC Markets, or you can go into the Discord. Well, you have to go into the Discord to download the indicators from there, and then go back into the channel and look on the playlists on how to, and it will show you how to actually download everything and get everything set up. If you are new, also make sure you watch the playlist Understanding the Hybrid. It's going to explain everything for you, and that is a playlist that I will be adding more videos to because there are concepts that people want more in-depth discussion on. And more importantly, we've got a wiki as well, so just make your way over to the Discord because everything you need is in there, guys. It's a beautiful community and there are a lot of people in there that help each other. All right, 8 seconds until New York. Let's see what happens, guys. 8 seconds until a new 4-hour candle is formed. Here we go. Let's see what New York has in store for us. We are currently in a pool of liquidity. Are they going to move down lower? Will we see a little bit more momentum? We've got the 200 EMA in sight on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's see if they actually exploit the retail trader right now. Will New York initiate the reversal? Or are we just going to get a continuation to the downside? Let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at Matic. Where is Matic? Pulling down 134. At the 50 EMA, so it's still trading strong. It's still trading strong. I think what might actually happen is Bitcoin and Ethereum might actually hold here, right? Or just zone out. And the altcoins are going to start making moves away from the retrace points that they are at right now, which is at the 50 EMA. Most of the altcoins are at the 50 EMA, which is the first pullback from their crazy movements to the upside. All right, look at Ravencoin. There you go, 50 EMA, 1 inch, 50. Well, it's gone beyond the 50 EMA. All right, Alpha, beyond the 50. IOTA, at the 50, near enough. AVAX, well, beyond the 50, but spiking volume, trying to show support in that zone. Hot, at the 50 EMA. They are at the 50, so it could break down, guys. It could break down. BNB 381. Hit the high of 407. Crazy. Algo 89. Very interesting behavior right now, all at the 50. We are all at turning points, guys. Everything is at a turning point right now. We just need to wait and see what happens. In your opinion, probably is, man. It is crazy. Wiki's not connecting. Infinex. Apparently the wiki is not connecting. Yeah, it didn't open. There it is. Here we go. So, look now. Look now. Is this the recovery? Let's pull up the 4-hour time frame just for a second. Are we going to see a vector candle on there? No vector on Bitcoin right there because actually it's different. Okay. But in the next 3 minutes, a new vector candle will form on the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin on this chart. Okay. So let me just pull that up a second. Where is it, man? It really winds me up. Here we go. So 4-hour time frame. We're going to see a move. Let me just change that. Indicators, axis panel, change the levels, get rid of those levels, don't want those, clean my chart up. Happy days, get rid of the volume down there. Happy days, chart is clean. Okay, so in 1.5 minutes time or so, we are going to see a new 4-hour candle. That's where things get a bit interesting. Look at what's going on, how price is moving up and down now. All right, got to keep an eye out on things on the chart itself. All right, it's pulling down now at the 44,500 zone. Remember, what do they do above and below key notable areas, especially whole numbers and half numbers? We're at the 44,500 mark. Let's see what they do next. If they do break down lower, then boy, it's going to be an interesting day and price should stabilize at the 200 EMA. The futures market will come in at 2:30. Is this the point where they actually continue with the move down on the US Brinks box and then initiate a reversal back to the upside? So we might get 2 reversals in New York, guys. We may just get that. Here we go. 1 more minute until a new 4-hour candle. Got to keep an eye out on that on the 4-hour time frame. Let's go. Have myself a cup of tea. Yeah, it's 1 hour into a new 4-hour. It's different brokers, man. I don't understand why. Well, yeah, if people can exploit candles moves on anything, this is Bitcoin USD. This platform is IC Markets. It's works on the principle of an electronic central network. Okay, and it's the MT4 platform. It's all price feeds on MT4 all work off a central server. Okay, so not like TradingView where you've got different brokers offering different price feeds like Binance, Qcoin, and what have you. So it's just it just keeps it sweet. So here we go. New 4-hour candle. Let's see what happens. New 4-hour candle. Is it going to come up and recover that vector? This is what it's trying to do now. You can see slowly it's trying to do. The fact that the 4-hour didn't close below, all right, is a good sign. All right, but we may now see a little bit of a recovery on the vector candle on the 4-hour. Flip back onto the chart. You can see it's starting to come up here as well. We're just waiting now to see if New York actually does initiate reversal. Okay, that's what we need to try and establish. The 5 and the 13 EMA on the 1-hour time frame are expanding away from the 50. All right, so momentum is keeping price moving down. Next point of interest may be the 200 EMA as a point of support, as it will be consistent with the pool of liquidity that is remaining on the left side of the chart. You've also got the same story for Ethereum as well, but she's got a little bit more of a journey to travel if she's going to come down to that point right there. All right, let me see back again. Looking at that, it does look like it wants to come back up. Failure to close stronger at the lows right there. 15-minute time frame, notable volume there. 5-minute time frame, notable volume there again. 1 hour time, 1 minute time frame. What are you showing me? Deviation away from the 50 EMA. Stopping volume, stopping volume, stopping volume at the highs. It may even come down lower, guys. It may develop into a more of a drop to the downside. We could actually get a W formation forming by the time New York opens in the futures market, and then we may see a bounce back up. But just look at the cyclical moves to the downside, guys. Look at that. 1, and then you got another 1, 2, and then is this the final cycle to the downside? 3 moving back up. So if you remember in the streams, we're talking about you can have 2 weeks down, 2 weeks down, 2 and 1 week up, 2 days down, 1 day up. Those are the patterns that usually appear on the charts. All right. Here we go. Starting to pull back now. Recovery of that wick. Ethereum moving down strong. May get a bit interesting for us, guys. It is consistent with a retrace, guys. No doubt. We are needing a retrace without a fact. Without a doubt. Complete retrace. XRP is dropping. Let's see if XRP is really dropping. Yeah, it's pulling back, guys. It's coming back to the 50, and it's natural for it to come back to the 50. Look at what happens. Notable volume at the highs. All right? Price coming at the highs. Notable volume. Price pulls back. Trap the retail traders to go long, and there you go. Price pulls back. Buying the dip. Retrace back up. Continuation. Let's see what happens. All right, then. All that's left for us to do, ladies and gentlemen, now is to wait for New York. The futures, that is. And also remember, when the UK closes and Europe as a whole closes, the US is going to get free reign of sending price wherever it wants to go. We will be down then 2 pools of liquidity. One's from Europe and the UK. And then the US will have their own time to actually move price in their desired direction. We've had the Asian session confirm a move to the downside, so Asia favors lower prices. The UK step in and initiate a stop hunt rise to the 50 EMA and pull price back down. They too favor lower prices. Are they going to allow the US to do the same thing? Is the US going to retrace price back up towards the 50, recover this vector candle right here, and then pull back down again and find support at the 200 EMA? That may be the case. Ultimately, we need to sit back and wait for them to show their hand because we are in a liquidity pool. We've got a moving average in sight. We have just broken away from a key psychological area for Bitcoin, which was the psychological high right there. Where is it? Is it the high? That is the high, isn't it? Yeah, that is the low. Why is it not coming up? What the hell? Yeah, that is the psychological high. Yes, it is. Sorry. Psychological low right there. Psychological high right there. There it is. Come up there in the end. All right. Cool. Here we go. Look at that. US Brinks. US Brinks is showing its hand. Interesting. 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 This will be interesting. We may get the recovery, but listen. If price does recover back up, we're not out the woods until the 50 EMA has closed. Price has closed above the 50 EMA and the 13 EMA crosses over the 50 as well. So we're not out the woods just yet. Don't think this is going to be the retrace back up completely. Wait to see the 13 EMA cross over the 50 EMA. Wait for an inverted pattern on the 5 and the 13 EMA. Look at that. Wait for this behavior to happen. Once it starts to show curvature like a shark fin and the 13 EMA crosses back over underneath the 5 EMA, then it may be a valid assumption that they could be continuing price back up again. All right? Because remember, it can change at a moment's notice, guys. All right? All right, then. How long we got? Because I'm... Right. I am going to leave you guys, because I've got to go and get my daughter early today. That's why I normally would stream at 2 o'clock, but I've got to go and pick up my daughter a little bit sooner than expected today. But I hope you've enjoyed today. If you are new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. We will be on tonight again at 10 p.m. GMT. And this is consistent throughout the week, guys. So we do it Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, stream twice a day. And we just zone in on the various sessions. And I know the US session is one session that really does have all the weight of the move. And the Asian session pretty much sets things up for later on in the day. But as always, just prepare yourselves. Wait for things to play out first before you initiate any decisions, okay? Don't be the retail trader, all right? We understand something, okay? Don't be that guy that supplies the liquidity for the market maker. Be the guy that waits for the retail trader to mess up so you can take advantage of his liquidity. That's the name of the game, and that's the sad truth of the game, guys, all right? One man's fun is another's hell. That's how it rolls. All right. Okay, again. Okay, again. What am I saying, man? I really need to sort something out about my speech, man. I'm saying the same thing over and over again. My mind is losing it. My days. All right, and guys, listen. I'm going to leave you. Thank you so much for your time, you know? I appreciate it. You know, it is something to sit in front of nearly 1,000 people and just chew their ear off, especially with the way that I speak. I feel like I'm somewhat aggressive when I'm speaking on here, man. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm out. Go have yourselves a lovely day. You take care of yourself, all right? Mad love and respect. Peace.